Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day to everyone. Today we are going to continue our lessons on science process skills. Before we continue our lesson, let's recite our dua together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma ftah alayna hikmataka wanshur alayna min khazaini rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Amin. Today, we are going to learn about science process skill number 7, using space-time relationship. Using space-time relationship is a skill that describing changes in parameter with time. What are the parameters? Examples are length, width, volume, weight, time, temperature, size, direction, location, smell, taste, color, texture, quantity, shape, and many others. Look at this diagram. This can be found in your textbooks. What changes can be observed when a popsicle is placed under the sunlight for 20 minutes? This is the initial condition. After 10 minutes, this is the condition, and this is the condition after 20 minutes. Can you identify what is the parameter that had changed? The popsicle has changed its shape and become smaller in size. This is the parameter, shape and size. So, the change in shape and size is called a change in parameter. Next, what is the relationship between the shape and size of the popsicle and the time taken based on the investigation above? As the time increases, the shape of the popsicle becomes irregular and the size becomes smaller. As the time increases, the shape, the parameter, popsicle is the object, become irregular is the change. Size, also the parameter, become smaller is the changes. Therefore, the relationship between space and time in the situation above is, as time increases, the shape of the popsicle becomes irregular and its size decreases. Look at these situations. A car travels on a road. Look at the initial position. After 5 seconds, after 10 seconds, and after 15 seconds. Can you identify what is the object in this investigation? Yes, the object is a car. What is the changing parameter? Does the size of car changing? Does the color of car changing? Does the sound of car changing? Does the distance traveled by the car changing? Yes, the distance traveled by the car is changing. So, what is the relationship between the distance and the time taken? As the time increases, the distance traveled by the car increased. This is how we write a relationship between space-time. As the time increases, the size of the popsicle decreases. As the time increases, the distance of the car increases and the position change. First, you must identify the parameter, the object, and the changes. Look at the color. Red color is representing the parameter, while the blue color is representing the object. Lastly, green color representing the changes. Next, science process skill number 8, interpreting data. Interpreting data is a skill that giving rational explanations or rational descriptions from the collected data. These three science process skills is supporting interpreting data, observing, measuring and using number to collect data, communicating to present the data. Look at the situation. Faris and his friends built 3 bird feeders. The numbers of birds that flocks to the bird feeders is recorded as shown in the table. So this is the data. There are 3 types of bird feeder. This is the duration of the investigation, and this is the recorded observation. They record the total number of the birds of each bird feeder. So from this data, we can explain that most birds flock to bird feeder A, while bird feeder B was the least visited by the birds. The number of birds at the bird feeders were recorded for 5 days. Observe the examples of data interpretation based on the diagrams below. Look at this chart. This pie chart is explain the ways of pupils come to school. There are 4 types of way pupils come to schools: walking, by bus, by bicycle, by car. This is how we can interpret the data. The number of pupils riding a bicycle to school is the same as those walking. This is the number of pupils walking, and this is number of pupils who ride bicycle. So we can say the size of pie chart are the same. What else can we interpret? Look at the size of pie chart of the purple color representing the number of people come to school by car. So we can interpret that the pupil that come to school by car is the least. And we can also interpret pupils, the number of pupils that come to school by bus. The number of pupils come to school by bus is the most. So we can use the word most to represent the number and the least to represent the very small number. How can we interpret this bar chart? Look at the type of toy car and the distance. Distance traveled by toy car is the farthest. Look at this bar. We can also interpret distance traveled by toy car A is the farthest and distance traveled by toy car E is the nearest. This is how we interpret the collected data. Look, Hafiz released an inflated balloon into the air from the ground floor of the school. After 10 seconds, the balloon deflated and was found on the first floor. What are the changes in the parameter over time? If you see these questions, changes in parameters over time, which sense process skill involve? Of course, observing and using space-time relationship. How can we state the relationship between the changes in parameter over the time? What is the object? The object is balloon. What is the parameter observed? Yes, the parameter involved is shape and also the position or location. As the time increase, the size of balloon decrease. As the time increase, the balloons become further. Remember, you must use this kind of format to state your relationship between changing in parameters and over the time. So today, we had learned this parameter using space-time relationship and interpreting data. You can repeat this video for more understanding. Don't forget to refer your textbooks also. That's all. Thank you. Till we meet again.